It's Nigella Lawson here, and I wanted to tell you about my new book, Cook, Eat, Repeat. It's really some reflections that come out of a lifetime in the kitchen, including, I suppose, a love letter to some of my favourite ingredients and the recipes that I turn to so often to make me happy. And I hope they'll make you happy too. I decided to write Cook, Eat, Repeat because I felt that, to a great extent, the value of repetition and ritual in the kitchen was undervalued. And yes, of course, it's always wonderful to have a new recipe, and I love cooking new recipes, I love writing new recipes. But what I find helpful in the kitchen is that even new recipes really are just stages of repetition of certain old techniques that you do, not techniques, but so much cooking onions, stirring a pot, adding spices that you like. So I felt I wanted to talk about a bit how you harness these familiar practices to make yourself feel both at ease in the kitchen and yet to produce often very different dishes. I always find it very difficult to talk about favourite recipes because I wouldn't ever want to put a recipe in a book unless I weren't willing to fight for it to be there. But there are certain recipes, it's true that I cook more often than others. I think I've made my fermented hot sauce pretty much on a loop now for quite some time. Crab mac and cheese is something that I would be loath to part with, but then I start talking about one recipe and I think of the others. Fried chicken sandwich, that is another favourite. Lamb shank with wide noodles in aromatic broth. I mean, I really could go on. Rice pudding cake. You see, it's very, very burnt Basque cheesecake with licorice sauce. In a way that it sounds naff, but they are all my favourites. It's maybe not. I feel really these are recipes I wouldn't want to live without. One of the huge pleasures of writing Cook, Eat, Repeat is that I had the space and the time and the framework in the book actually to do some thinking and writing. And what gives me so much pleasure is really reflecting about food and talking about the tastes I love and actually having room to maybe to spread out those thoughts quite a bit and sort of meander my way through flavours, ingredients, pleasures, prejudices. And I suppose this book has really enabled me to wallow in the food, but also to wallow in the words.